Excuse me. Hey, are you comedian David Kildal, the one that has the joke about socially awkward dating?
Yeah.
Do you want to explode it?
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's set this up. Hey, what's up? This is the Joke Exploder. I have a guest today, the hilarious David Kildal.
What's happening?
Who are you, David?
I am a human person. I am a stand-up comic out here in Portland, Oregon, and I did some comedy.
Yep.
And then I got taped. And now we're gonna explode it.
Yeah, we're gonna explode your joke.
We're gonna explode the joke. We're not exploding from the joke. We're like the bomb squad. We're like doing a controlled explosion.
It's a controlled blast.
We're gonna
of your joke.
Contain our bomb.
So the joke that you're gonna talk about is you're socially awkward at dating, right?
There's a whole lot of socially awkward.
Is that what you have in your notebook? Like, if you want to remember to do this joke, what's the like little? I do bullets for mine where I'll just be like, this is my dead dogs joke or whatever. I'll just write dead dogs, which is like a weird thing, right? But what do you write in your notebook?
I'll put depends. Sometimes it's just like dating, Portland. Religion, family. Other times it's like
I just love the idea that like that doesn't seem that hard to forget.
Right. Well, I don't usually have to write it. Well, I don't know. You never know. Sometimes you're doing a longer set. You're like, all right, what?
You look down. Oh yeah, dating.
Oh yeah, that's the. You have 3. Hey, how many bullets do you need till you have to write them down? If it's like 2 bullet points, you need to even make the bullets points.
Is that? I'm just curious about your personal like system for a set list. So you write a set list?
Sometimes. Yeah, I'll sort of type it out or write it out, and so like, whatever. And it's more so for like if I have a newer joke somewhere, it's like mapping where that'll be. But yeah, it's sort of like like the dating, Portland, whatever. It's sort of like just overarching topics, and then I'll might like, where in those topics does that little bit go?
I'm curious if you do this, because this is how I do it. Like if I have a new thing, I will do like a sub of, so I'll have like the topic of the joke. And if there's like a new punchline or something that I want to try, I'll write something to kind of remind me of that thing, like underneath it and like indented slightly.
Yeah. Like another tab type thing. Yeah.
Yeah, like tab over.
Sub bullets.
Sub bullet. Yeah, it's like if it was a square, now it's a circle.
You go from like the M45 to like a BB, or I don't know anything about guns and ammunition, but it's like you get the big bullet and you get a little bullet.
Yeah, a little bullet, the 22 caliber. I don't know anything. This is where we need Nick.
We need our friend Nick Scalzone
back in here to tell us all about that, and be like, oh, okay. Shout out to Nick and the old podcast we used to do together. Yeah, we kind of talked about it at the top. We used to do a podcast together, and it was really fun during the pandemic. We were also roommates.
Yes,
which was cool.
Yeah, we were roommates for a while.
Mostly just on paper, though.
Yeah, it was a very
It was kind of like we just went formality. To the courthouse. We didn't have any kind of like.
Right. It's like
it's like an over
you like a green card marriage of a roommate relationship.
Yeah.
I just needed to get out of a situation.
And then it turned into kind of just an overpriced.
And then I went into another situation.
Right. It's kind of an overpriced storage unit, I would say.
Yeah.
That I was like that weird guy that like lived in this storage unit. Or like if you needed me to grab something.
Yeah. there'd be a cute dog there to play with.
Yep.
But
yeah, or take pictures for your dating profile.
That's right.
Didn't you do that? You were like, can I? And I was like, of course you can. Bucket doesn't care.
Oh, yeah. Did I have a bucket picture on my... It's been so long. I'm too
feel like because you and I because we were doing. I think this is important to the joke. We both were on Tinder at the same time. I think it was you and Nick that had encouraged me to get Tinder, which is how I met my now husband, which is crazy.
You were so much more successful.
Oh my God! Right?
Like dozens a day.
Whereas mine was just maxed out immediately.
Yeah.
On connections.
You had to give. Like, they probably just give premium to you. Be like, you just take it. Just take this. You're going to crash our system because too many people want
As a hot girl on Tinder. I don't know. I was like, is this good? And you and Nick were like, what? Because it has a thing, like how many matches that you have.
Uh-huh.
And I found out that once you hit 99, it just says 99.
Yeah.
Plus.
I never got to that problem. That was not an issue on Kildal Island. That was not going on. I don't think we ever had double digits.
I was trying to get double digits because the number goes down if you match.
Uh-huh.
So at one point I was like, I'm gonna get to 100, and then that's how I learned that once you get to 100, this sounds like I'm bragging.
You could have been at 1,000. It would still have been 99.
It still would have been 99. Yeah. You just don't know. But
wow.
So this is from Helium Comedy Club. Is this a contest set?
This is my semifinal
from this year.
Yes.
Oh heck yeah! Sweet.
It's an award-winning. No,
it's an award-winning. A round passing.
Yes, I did move on from this set.
Round advancing.
I moved to the next round.
Yeah.
And I did not win that one, but this one worked.
But you did win this one. All right.
Yeah.
We'll start watching it and get into. Is there anything we need to know up top before I start playing about?
No.
This? Okay.
No. It's pretty self-explanatory.
All right.
Yeah, I'm a pretty socially awkward person. Somebody recently told me that I am really terrible at making eye contact, which really, really hurt my feelings. I didn't see who. I make it a point not to look. People.
What do you got?
It's so nasally. I hate it so much.
Oh, hearing your own.
Yeah, I sound like a nose with a self-esteem issue.
Yeah. You know, okay.
I'm so socially awkward.
I'm sorry. I'm up and up there.
Kermit the Frog here. I can't look at people.
Oh, the old Kildal impressions. I love it. On our old podcast, we used to do impressions. I would make attempts and just destroy. I would destroy with how bad my attempts at things were. I would just go for it and be so embarrassed and sometimes cry afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
That's me being vulnerable. It was so hard. Impressions are so scary for me. But you just would nail it. And it would just be so embarrassing to me. I was just like...
Pretty good. You'd think I would do the more MI act.
I am always pushing.
I don't know if there's any impressions in this one. Maybe there are. I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to,
we'll have to see.
Yeah. Frighten me. I am in a relationship. My lady and I, we're doing pretty good. We're both socially awkward people, both terrified of eye contact. It's perfect. It was love at first sight, and by that I mean it took us 7 months.
Okay, we got to talk about that.
Yeah,
because there's some truth there, right?
Yeah, we not so good with the eyes.
But you guys knew each other for a long time.
Yeah,
So there's some truth to that. I never picked up on that until this moment. Because I do, spoiler, we're good friends, and you guys started dating when we were... That's why David wasn't at the house very often anymore. It's because he started dating. Found love. You know what I love about your comedy, speaking of? Something I really like about your comedy is you have this... all your punchlines are like fadeaways.
Fade away.
You're not dunking on the audience. You're just like shooting 3-pointers and just like, and it's just like, you know, like where it's just like no rim, like no bounce, just right into
when they work. It's like that. Sometimes you rim out and it's embarrassing.
And you're just like, I shouldn't have gone for that half court shot.
Sometimes you got the tag. You're like, well, I'm gonna throw this one out, and the audience is just dead silent.
You're like sky hook, and it just goes into the audience. But yeah, you're like dribbling around, just nailing 3-point shots is what I felt like with your comedy, and I love that. It's so cool.
Yeah, my favorite is I don't know if I do it in this clip, but my favorite is when I tell one and I give it a minute.
Ooh, like let it simmer,
and let the audience be like, "Oh, that's how that." Like,
yeah.
Like it's kind of like it's a thinker.
Yeah. How do you figure out that timing?
Well, you try it and you wait. And sometimes they laugh and sometimes they don't. And when they laugh, you realize that it takes them a second.
Yeah.
And maybe it's also with like delivery too, because I imagine my delivery at times, especially with like a newer joke, is probably more like feeble. Being like, is this guy? I don't know how I feel about this guy. What's he saying? And then, he just did a joke.
Wait, what do you mean by feeble?
Oh, like, I'm not so good with. It took 7 months. That's the joke.
Oh,
yeah. Cause I feel like I did more of those types, like more of that type of a timing of a joke when I was like newer to comedy.
Yeah.
Now I'm like a few years in, still not killing immediately, still needs a little bit of time to hit.
What do you mean by it needs a little time to hit?
Like it used to take, like where maybe it took like a 3-second pause. Maybe it takes like a 1.5-second pause.
Oh, like people are getting their jokes quicker?
Yeah.
Do you think that's like your joke writing is improving?
Probably in delivery and like confidence on stage and stuff. It's like, oh, this guy knows what he's talking about. Or it's like, you know, when you're newer to comedy, you're like, does this guy know what he's talking about?
Yeah, that's a good point. Where there is like this charisma that one can, sometimes some people that just got into comedy somehow just have that thing where it's just like the audience just immediately is like, oh, we're in good hands. We're all state.
We've got here. Yeah. And sometimes the comic doesn't know it yet. They're just really like it.
Yeah.
But they don't know why. And it's fun.
Like to have that. Yeah.
Well, it can be fun. Unless you're the comic and you're like, I don't know why they're laughing at those things that way. But yeah, you know, you just gotta do comedy hundreds and hundreds of times, and hopefully you figure it out.
And take notes on the things and make tweaks.
You listen back and get over the cringe of it, and then you're like, oh, okay, those were the.
Do you listen to all your sets?
No.
No,
I used to for a while, which I think is really helpful, especially when you're like newer to comedy and you don't even know what you sound like. You kind of have to just.
You don't know that you sound like a giant nose.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, and it's like there's stuff to gain. It's like listening to somebody else's comedy and being like, oh, you could do that, but it's like you're listening to yourself and giving yourself feedback.
You're in like an infinite feedback loop.
Right. But if you're not listening to yourself, then you just are going off of what you remember doing. And sometimes you didn't remember it right, or I don't know.
Well, sometimes it's like, I don't know if you experienced this. Like sometimes I've experienced this where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to go home. I'm going to cut up this clip. It's going to be so sick. Mm-hmm. And then you get to it and you're just like, oh no, there was just some lady that was really smiling big and like really into it. That
Someone was very drunk and really laughed.
Woo! And then you listen back, you're like, that was barely funny.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you listen back to a clip and you're like, you like, oh, I killed this set. You listen back and you're like, oh, I didn't do so great. Other times you listen back and you thought you bombed horribly. Yeah. And you're like, oh, no, I actually didn't do that bad.
Yeah.
So it's, well, most of the time there's always something to gain from listening.
Yeah.
But you just got to get past the barrier of, oh no, I'm about to listen to myself.
How did you get past that?
You just do it. I don't know. It's
exposure therapy yourself.
Yeah. Or I was like, it was more helpful when I was only doing sets that were like 2 or 3 minutes long as a new open micer, but it's like, I just got to power through it. And then, when you make it into an assignment, you guess, I don't know. It's like just a few seconds really when you're like, oh, this is awful. I can't stand to hear myself. And then
you just get past that initial thing. Did you just like make sure, did you have like a system of where you would be like, okay, I listened to it like right after or like the next morning with
I've done that. I've also done I'm listening back like months later.
Yeah.
Because I was too anxious to hear myself. Some clips are deep in the well of recordings that will never be listened to.
Yeah.
But they're there.
They're there. I know.
They're there.
I got a lot of those. I got
hundreds.
Yeah. Do you record every set?
Most of them, yeah.
Yeah. What do you record them into?
I just use my iPhone.
Just the Notes app, or like do you use like a...
Oh, like the voice recorder.
Oh, the voice recorder? Oh, nice.
Yeah. I'll do the voice recorder, and then I'll have my phone with like a stopwatch going. So that's what I'm looking at, is the time.
Yeah. Because,
like a contest set, you need to not go over time.
Yeah.
Which I have done.
You said that now that you've been doing longer sets, you're not listening to them because it's just too much to do that.
Well, and they're also long. It's like, I don't know, if it's like 20 minutes plus being like, I guess I could also just skip to jokes, but they're all worth listening to. Yeah.
They're all worth it. All right, Let's keep going.
Back to the show. To look at each other. We do. It's not like we're not attracted to each other. It's just like we both we take turns. That's what our move. Yeah.
Okay. I've hung out with you guys. You really do that.
Yeah.
I always feel bad making eye contact with your girlfriend.
Really?
I don't know. I'm always like, oh, I don't want to make people uncomfortable.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. It's like I guess there's the couples, they just look into each other's eyes all the time, and we're not that.
You're not that?
I don't know. Yeah, it's like I think I've said it in other variations of this, but it's like a park bench is good because you're just like,
oh, same way.
Side by side, kind of like this.
Yeah.
Except you're looking forward to.
It's like, it's weird to like kind of like put yourself. Yeah.
It's like, there's like some couples that like they couldn't possibly imagine sitting in one side of the booth. Like they have to be staring at each other all the time.
And that's the dream for you? That's same side of the booth?
It's a preference. I wouldn't say it's my dream. Like I like looking at her. You know, it's not like I'm like, could you move? Could
you move over here? I want to look at the other side of this booth.
Right.
Together.
Yeah. It works.
That's so funny. Do you guys really sit on the same side sometimes?
Well, we don't have a dining table, so we eat all our meals on the couch.
Oh yeah.
So that's just we're conditioned.
Kind of built in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I found out something just the other day because I was at a restaurant with my husband and we were sitting directly across from each other, and there was there was these two people, and I like to play this game like, are they a gay couple? Like, because I'm so bad at noticing, and I'm always just like, oh, I get like all excited. It's like a rare Pokemon or something like that, but in Portland there's tons of them, so it's not that rare. But when I see two guys dining together, I get very excited, and like I'm like, one of us. But I was like, do you think they were? It was like a very it was like two muscle bro guys, and I was like, they found love. And Paul was like, no, they weren't, because they were sitting kitty corner, and I was like, oh, I never thought of that before.
That's the game in Portland is, are they straight?
Are they
and
straight?
Why are they dining together?
Or maybe they aren't. They're just friends dining together.
Yeah.
They don't want to give off the wrong impression.
Right. Especially if they're bro, they're like, they can't think that we're gay.
Yeah, they can't. I mean, the crop tops that we're both wearing.
You gotta like sit. I don't know.
It's because our muscles are so bad.
They're like, we don't look gay, right? No. What?
Yeah. They were like that broy where you're just like, bros just discovered gay clothes.
Yeah.
Like they're just like they are wearing gay clothes now. I love it. I'm here for it.
It's a good fit, good style.
Anyway. All right, let's get back. We got up.
I have a lot in
we're about
common
30
that way.
seconds into this
Some people
clip.
say opposites attract. I don't think that's true at all. I would not be attracted to someone just staring at my face while I look away. That's not my vibe. But yeah, we're actually getting engaged. We are getting married soon. Yeah, we're getting wedding anxiety. Because I don't know, there's a lot of eye contact at a wedding. They're up there just staring at each other, you know. I think we'll both wear veils. I think that's the move. I think that's it.
That is such a good punchline. That's so good. That is you just nailing a half-court shot right there. Just swoosh.
You make it sound like I'm so much better at basketball than I actually am.
I don't know. We've never played basketball.
Oh, we'd be so bad.
That
would be so...
bad.
Oh.
You're not good at basketball?
I don't mind, like, shooting hoops or playing, like, like pig or whatever, like when it's like that type of thing. But like when it's like in a full game, like no.
Yeah, full pickup. I'm just like, what are we doing? Twisting our ankles and hurting each other for points?
Right. In some ways, I'm kind of like, it's like I'm like built for it.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. It's not my.
Do people ever ask if you play basketball? Or assume it?
Maybe when I was younger. I feel like now I don't give off basketball player vibes.
Nah.
Usually.
You give like knows a lot about basketball stats.
Yeah, like I maybe have a fantasy basketball team.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's also Portland, at least, you know, we got an NBA team. There's a lot of like nerdy basketball fans here.
Yeah.
So that would be my impression. But I'm not out there hooping.
No,
not hooping.
I'm very similar to you. Like I'm a horse pig kind of. Like I got some trick shots in the bag.
Yeah.
Like I can make some wild, weird shots.
Right.
But tradition. No, it's.
But like getting in a full blown game where I'm gonna like steal the ball and like do a sick dribble layup combo or whatever. Like no, I'm not.
I don't even think I could dribble between the legs right now. Honestly.
Yeah. Same. And I've got long legs.
Yeah. You look like you could. Which. All right, we'll keep going.
Maybe, I don't know. Or they'll be like, you may now kiss your bride, and we just like clank welding helmets together.
There's another one. You made that layup. That was more of a layup. That wasn't a half court shot.
Yeah.
That was you just like, like you stole the ball and you just made a layup. Like it's like, oh man, Davey, more shots. Did you try any other things besides welding helmets there? Or was like, how did you come up with welding helmets?
I don't know. It just is a thought of like something really silly and weird that you wouldn't see at a wedding.
Maybe a gay wedding.
Maybe, yeah. You know, you never know.
They like flip their masks down and like start welding.
All right, let's get to work.
Let's make this thing official. It's union. And they just stick welding on the.
Where you like you're in a union and you're in the like the welding union.
A union. I approve this union. We're not going to strike from this union. I don't know.
Even a self-respecting welder's like, no, I'm not going to bash welding masks with my partner on stage.
So welding mask was the first thought you had?
It probably was. I think I probably did like maybe like a Darth Vader cosplay maybe was another one that I've tried. But yeah, no, welding helmets.
Do you do like when I'm trying to, my favorite game is like to just play, I call it play tag, where I try to write as many as I can. And I'll make a list. I'll be like, force myself to write 10. Did you do anything like that? Or you just were like, nope, yeah. Darth Vader, nope, and then welding helmets.
It's like, what are some examples? I mean, that one is like, that's one of those where you think through and you're like, oh yeah, no, that one's pretty good. I don't know if I can beat that one.
Oh yeah.
So I just won't try to do it. If it's, because comedians are lazy people. So it's like if you do something that works, It's like, yeah, no, I'll just do that.
Yeah. It's a great visual, and it, because it almost, to me, it almost feels like football helmets or something. But
right.
That's not as silly.
Yeah, welding helmets is just such not a matrimonial thing to have.
Other than the fact they might both be in a union.
Yeah.
Unionizing.
Yeah, it's just weird and off-putting and funny. And
yeah.
That's why.
I think
that's why people laugh when they hear.
Did you have any other, like, how did you get to both wear veils, or that was that just like an aha moment, or
that was another like silly observation or thought. Be like, what if I wore a veil? What if we both wear veils?
Yeah,
because the groom's never going out there with a veil usually. No, as far as I know. And it's like, yeah, that's like a nice friend. It's like a safety barrier.
Yeah,
of sorts.
Yeah.
It won't fully block your vision, but it sort of like obscures it a bit.
Mm-hmm. That's good. It's great. It's great. All right, we'll keep going.
Blue collar American couple falling in love. Clanking the old domes. Yeah, it's great to not be single anymore. I'm glad to be off that market. It's tough out there. No woman's looking for a man she can wrap her arms around twice. That's someone.
Did you ever try anything else with that one? Or was that... Because I think you've been doing that one for a while, right?
Yeah. Well, there's a number of these.
Oh, coming. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
They're into curves. No one's into corners. No one's like... I've tried muscles. Let's see a man with angles. Let's take a protractor this bod and see what those angles can do, Is this a date or a geometry lesson?
See, that one hit the rim and bounced off.
Bounced off the rim. Well, there's the protractor line is so good and doesn't get what it deserves, in my opinion. That's kind of the unsung hero of this joke.
Yeah. So yeah, to your question of like, have I tried other things? It's like I have so many of these that work, and then I'm like, well, what if I just thought of it? Every now and then I'll think of a new one and I'll just like toss it in there. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. What are some examples of some that haven't worked that you can think of?
Well, it's something that's too like bums audiences out too much.
Oh yeah, like you kind of went a little too far.
Really, honestly, that's really it is. It's like if the quantity is too excessive, then that's the thing about like self-deprecating is like it can be fun for audiences, but if you're too aggressive with the self-deprecating,
yeah,
especially because if you look at it that way with this joke, I'm just punching myself in the face over and over. If you punch yourself in the face too hard, eventually audiences are like, you gotta lay off. Are you okay?
I would say though, because a lot of times Portland audiences do not go on. They're not on board for like the self-deprecating. They'll like awe.
Yeah.
Instead of laugh.
Yeah, when audiences you're done.
Yeah, you're like, all right, we're not tagging.
You got it. Yeah, no, you got to just change.
Like we're moving on. Yeah. But what I was gonna say is, you get away with it for some reason.
I got that magic.
Like that's that old Davey magic,
self-loathing of sorts.
That's those 3-pointers, those 3-point shots. You're not getting in there in the paint or whatever in the cube. I don't know what it's called. I don't really follow basketball that closely. You're not like up in the like throwing elbows. You're in back there shooting from the free throw line.
Yeah, yeah. I think, and it's also probably like usually when I'm thinking through a set, it's like I try to put breaks in between the face punching parts with like a clever observational joke, and then I'll go back to beating myself up.
And then you go right back to punching yourself.
It's sort of like a palate cleanser, also letting audiences know that I have other things to say besides I hate myself in this way and this way and this way.
Oh, that's
which
clever.
I don't. I don't hate myself.
It's like the opposite of a compliment sandwich.
Right. It's an insult sandwich. It's like a poison sandwich with like every once in a while there's like some good cheese or whatever in there. Some well curated. imported cheese.
Is it like, maybe it's like the bread is poisonous?
Yeah.
There's arsenic in the bread.
Your poison buns.
But like, it's got some good meats to it.
But there's like an aioli in there. It's like, ooh, I like that choice.
Ooh,
that was
kind of...
You still die. I mean, yeah, you still die, but at least there's some tasteful bits.
Yeah.
It's tasteful death. That's what my comedy.
What's the thing in like movies? They're like, ooh, I taste almonds. There's arsenic in this.
Oh yeah.
That's how they know. I don't know.
I think of the Princess Bride was like, iocane. I bet my life on it. And it's like odorless and tasteless.
All right. What were you gonna say?
It's a good flick.
It is a good flick.
Princess Bride.
I have to share this now. It was ruined for me.
Yeah.
By a roommate in college. I had this roommate, and this was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. But he loved that movie.
Oh,
and
just
would
quoted
watch it and quote it like a little too much.
Mm.
But one day, one of our other roommates brought a lady friend home that we all mutually knew. It was like in the friends group. So that was like, but then my other roommate was not getting the hints that like, hey, they're trying to have like a cute time on the couch.
Oh no.
Like, let's leave them alone. And he was like, oh, Princess Bride, like went in there and he's like, I can quote this movie before I can say every line before it can happen. And then he did. It was just like, they're like cuddling on the couch and he's just like doing all the lines. My name is Nico Montoya. Like right before they happen. Like nobody wants that ever.
Yeah, it's like you got to like change the language on the DVD to Spanish or something. Be like, shut up, get out.
Get out of here.
We're trying to bone here.
Like... just clueless.
Uh-huh.
But now that I always think of that whenever, it's a great movie though. Yeah, good flick.
It's wonderful. I love being off the market. It's tough out there. I feel like probably my best time as like a single person was definitely living in a small town. I don't miss living in a small town, but I do thrive the most when I'm the only option. You know, you can. Swipe left all you want. It's either me or it's like Craig in Coos Bay. Like you're either gotta drive 80 miles or just stay here in town with old Davy arms and legs. Like who else do you have? You downloaded those apps for a reason and it's me, you know? Pay for your premium. I'm still the only one you're getting. You swipe left on me. It's just me again.
That's such an experience though. Like sometimes you get the same person.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah. Oh yeah. My experience with the apps. You know, it's not an original topic to talk about on stage for sure, but it's like that's a real thing that happened. It's like I remember being single, living in Portland, and like going home and visiting my family and like in Roseburg where they live, and being on the apps, and it's like 5 people. Mm-hmm. One, I'm like, I went to high school with her. Didn't really like her that much then. Then it's like a girl in Medford, a girl which is like an hour and a half away.
Yeah.
Like so another girl who lives in an hour and a half the other direction. It's like there's nobody here. But then they swipe, you know, but I'm the only guy they're seeing that's nearby too. So
it's available.
It's a real depressing pool of people.
Well, there is that thing of it's like the app doesn't like when there isn't that many people, so it just kind of like low key extends the range on you,
right?
Or like someone that drove through at one point.
We got to give you something, you know.
We got to keep you on somehow.
Yeah, and it's like the mystique of the apps is like, oh, there's all these people who are like live near where I do, and I can discover them and I can find them. But then in small towns, like there's no one out there to discover. Move away or stay and be single and put up with what you got here.
Like the apps don't work in a small town.
No.
This is an original take that I've never heard. I've never heard this take. I've heard a lot of Tinder jokes, and you never say Tinder, which I love.
Yeah.
Like you keep it pretty general. But there I mean, because there's always the thing where like you get on the other app and it's just also
it's the same people. Like, oh, it's us again.
We're just our profile's slightly different.
Oh, hey, I know you. You rejected me there too. Well, I'm here too.
Yeah, you want to reject me here?
That's all we got.
Did you try any other? Have you tried any other like A/B tested anything besides Craig from Coos Bay or whatever that you said?
Well, yeah, people ask me. They can't remember the name that I use. They're like, what does he say? Does he say Craig? Does he say Cliff? And he says like Carl or whatever. It's like, no, I rotate him out. Oh,
you do? So you? Oh, okay. Because I can never remember either. I'm like, is it Craig? Is it always a C though?
Yeah.
And Coos Bay because it's a hard consonant.
An alliteration. Another little secret. Little alliteration. I like doing alliterations in general.
Yeah, they're fun. It's almost like I've been enjoying poetry lately, and something that I've found with joke writing. I'm curious if you find this too. Sometimes, sometimes it's like to take it from like cute to a punchline. You need like my theory is 2 elements. So it needs an alliteration and a cute turn. So like if it has a turn and an alliteration and a rhyme, or like it has a few different things going for it. If it's just a turn, it's got to be like a pretty good turn.
Like, do you have an example?
Well, I mean, like if you were to just say a name, this is a great example. It's like if you were to say a different name and it wasn't an alliteration, if it was just like, this is Steve from Sacramento. Like that's even kind of an alliteration, but if you were to just be like Steve from the Poconos or so, I don't know where that came from, but like that's not funny. But Craig from Coos Bay is funny. That really just like takes the joke from like a 5 to a 10.
Yeah, it's like an imaginary, and also it's sort of like it's like a poking fun. It's like I'm like inventing a person.
Yeah.
That's
and it sounds like a person, and you kind of like, I don't know, I always picture like a fisherman. I don't know why that always Craig from Coos Bay is definitely a fisherman that he goes out on those like long fish trips.
He like works 6 days a week at the lumber mill and then goes and he fishes, and then his profile pictures are just him sitting in his car with sunglasses.
Yeah.
He's like 43 years old with like a permanent suntanned skin or whatever.
And he has a picture of him with his truck in some capacity.
Yeah.
That is lifted.
And it's like a 180p like blurry fuzzy picture. It's not flattering whatsoever.
Nope.
And he's never going to change it. It's just going to be that way.
He's not. I matched with a few guys. I would play this game. If there was a guy that was like that, I would be like, you were my roommate. What am I talking about? I'd be like, David, I bet you I matched with this guy. And I would just be like, and he would be like, yep, a match. I did get to the point where like there'd be certain, like a gym bro. Nope. They're not into this. Most of the time that one was kind of a dice roll. But Craig from Coos Bay next to his truck as the main photo. Like we're matching and he's messaging me immediately.
He goes into Portland for work and for work.
Yeah, and it's probably a DL. It's it's a whole
the down low dude.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. I like that.
You're like, man, all the men in this town are the same. Like, yeah, I can only take so many different pictures of myself. So anyway, I'm not single anymore. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm a pretty
Uh-oh.
Where were we at? Like here? We were so far along.
I don't miss living in a small town, but it's either me or it's like 80 miles or just stay here in town with old Davy arms and legs. Like who else?
Wait.
So anyway, I'm not single anymore.
Yeah.
Yep. So that was the whole clip. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got it. It's confusing because you like recorded it off this thing,
Yeah.
and there's like a loading part of it. Where did you get this?
I screenshotted my YouTube of it, and then I cropped it. I don't know. See, there's this thing. Everyone's like, you gotta make clips. You gotta do clips, and no one's ever like, so here's what you do with your footage. You gotta. No one. It's like, okay, I know I gotta put something on these apps, but I'm like, I have this file and it's on It's on like my YouTube thing.
Yeah.
I gotta like find a way to take it from the YouTube
How
thing.
did you get it on your YouTube?
I downloaded it on my computer and uploaded it to YouTube on my computer.
Oh. Do you still have that file on your computer?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I wanted you to send me. This is fine. I love this. I love that this happened, though. This is amazing.
That's a whole other thing. But my computer basically is just this like fossil of a. Well, It's not really a fossil, but I never ever use it except for basically when I have to download a clip, and then I just put it on the internet, and it just lives there. And then I just do my phone 99% of the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would have been much.
That's
much
what I meant,
simpler.
but it's totally fine. It's totally fine. This is
Yeah.
great. I love that this happened because now we have this real authentic moment of like the screen record.
Yeah. But anyway, but it's like, so you see a progress bar.
Yep. And it's loading. I love that.
I took the whole thing and I clipped it.
Yeah.
But the clip only implies that there's only 2/3 of the video that have been watched. But no, that's the whole.
Okay, cool. That's the whole. That just was a confusing thing for us.
Yeah.
Was there any other? Do you have anything else that you wanted to say about this joke, or like any story behind this joke? Do you feel like we covered it pretty well?
I feel like we've hit it pretty well.
Yeah.
I think.
I didn't even think about how like the topics of this, because you wrote this like while we were basically living together, having this experience.
This is like an oldie and a buddy goodie.
But with the update that you're getting married, and that
always adding on, tweaking it. Stuff. Plus, also it's like a contest set. It's like you kind of have to do the good, like your best bits.
That was probably my mistake. I wrote an entirely new. I put like a classic in the up top and then called back to it at the end, but the rest of it was brand new.
Right.
And then I've like I did that set one more time and then I've just retired it. I'm like, I hate that set.
Yeah.
It has a bad stench on it.
Yeah. My philosophy with like what a contest set should be is like changed like half a dozen times. It's like I should do a joke I'm excited about right now, but then I should also do jokes that are like, infallible or whatever, like I know they're gonna work really well, but then it's like I don't know, so like it flips and flops. Probably a good contest set should be like a mix.
Yeah. How did you put your contest set together? Like, what was your process?
Yeah, probably what I just said. Some old, some newer.
Because you got to have those new. Because like for me, I have to be excited because like that was my problem. Is I was like putting together a contest set and I was like, I don't want to talk about any of this. I want to talk about this. And so then I ended up just being like, you know what? That's what I'm gonna do.
It's also a big part of the contest set is like you want the clip, and you don't want the clip of a joke you've got clipped 5 other times. You want to do something. You want to do like your newer stuff.
Yeah.
But you also want to, do well in the I don't know. It's like
it is like I mean, that was kind of my plan, and part of mine is I feel like it's lame to keep doing jokes about certain topics where it feels cheap, like because mine's about getting married and our honeymoon, and I just feel like that has a time limit of how long I can do that material.
I just had my honeymoon 8 years ago.
8 years ago. Like, I hate that. It's just like, it's almost like when a comedian has a joke about Facebook and they say that someone poked them. It's just like, all right, you've been definitely doing this. Like, can you even still do that with Facebook? I'm pretty sure you can. Maybe. I don't know.
I was hanging out with my friend, Tom from MySpace.
Yeah, like some weird old reference. And you're just like, oh my God, don't say I got poked on Facebook. No one's even going to know what you're talking about anymore.
Right.
All right. I do one thing and then we'll get out of here. What is your smallest accomplishment in comedy?
Smallest accomplishment in comedy, like
so, like mine, like so something that like you're really proud of, but it's not like that, like huge of a thing. Like on the grand scheme of things, and maybe to like other people, maybe it's not that big of a deal, but to you, it's like a big achievement that nobody cares about in comedy. That would be the best way to describe it.
A big achievement.
Mine is like the success of Dueling Beardos. I loved like having a successful super late open mic. It just is something that I'm so proud of. But no, I mean people appreciated it.
That's a big accomplishment. That's a great mic.
But that's like my example of like something that's like kind of not. It's not like a late night set or something like that. It's like you got a bunch of people to show up and buy drinks and have a good time in a small bar every Thursday at 10 o'clock. That's rad, but.
There's probably better ones, but I was just like a recent one was I was at a comedy festival and it was in Burbank at a comedy club there, and the show was poorly attended. It was like 9 p.m. on a Sunday night. No one's going out to watch a comedy show at that hour. So I was there and it was really poorly attended. Not a great show by any means. I was on it. I'm not just like being like I was at the show.
I was just at the show.
It was a show I was on and performing on.
Yeah,
and also
flew there to be on. Too.
It was like there was a number of people on it, but also like one of the comics on it was Dean Del Rey, who also bombed, which was kind of cool.
Yeah,
and then he left immediately, but on his way out, I got a nice.
Bump. The nice fit. Ooh, okay.
So I got to fist bump Dean Del Rey
as
he was leaving the venue as fast as he could.
I love that. That's so good. All right. So, do you have anything you want to plug before you get out of here? Your socials.
You can follow me. God knows I need to put clips on it.
Yeah.
But my Instagram and TikTok, I think it's all just at David Kildal, Kildal.
I'll put a link in the description.
Instagram, TikTok. I don't know. If you want a laugh for a different reason, look at my TikTok.
Or watch this continuously.
Yeah.
You can
I'm going to put some clips on there. It's going to happen. It's on my upcoming comedy goals.
Yeah.
Which seems sort of silly because it's sort of like the baseline these days. But like I'm going to have clips on social media of me performing my own jokes.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Okay. Hey, thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Bjorn with David Kildal talking about awkward dating or avoiding eye contact dating. You please like and subscribe, follow us on YouTube, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you so much.
Follow Bjorn, follow me.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.